Welcome to bcsonlinelectures.com. This is the third and final lecture under data representation in computers. This is the first section in fundamentals of computer science in computer and network technology subject. In this lecture, we are going to talk about why binary number system is the most suitable number system for computers. Then we will discuss about bits and bytes, the measurement unit for storage in computer. Then we will discuss about problems and methods in representing numbers in computers. Right. Finally, we will discuss about representation of characters and other data. Other data means photos, images, videos, like that. How computer can handle those other multimedia data. Now let's see why binary number system is for computers. Right. We learned in the previous chapter binary number system is also called machine language. Now let's see why binary number system is for computers. We know that computer is an electrical or electronic device. Electrical and electronic device. Electricity is the driven force in computers. Without electricity, computer is a dead machine. When you turn on the electricity, computer powers up, monitor becomes visible, and keyboard is functioning. Right? Processor is processing data. We can see that cooling fan is working. So computer is live. Without electricity, it's dead. So we know that we need electricity to function computer. So processing of data inside a computer means actually manipulating of electricity in many different ways. Manipulating means changing. Inside a computer, this electricity change in different status. Millions or billions of different ways. Electricity is changing. So computers can understand these changes and process data. Now consider this example given here. We have 4 light bulbs, right? So we know that if a particular bulb is on, that we know there's electricity. If bulb is off, then we know there's no electricity. So using these 4 bulbs, we can represent binary numbers. Right? You understand? We can represent binary numbers using 4 light bulbs. Right? 0 to 16. 4-bit numbers we can represent. So if a particular bulb is on, we can assign that bulb 1. Number 1. If a particular bulb is off, we can assign 0 to that bulb. So in that case, we can represent using 4 light bulbs, we can represent 4-bit binary numbers. Right? I think you can understand that. Right? Now let's connect 4 switches for each bulb. Now what happens? By turning on and off each switch, we can manipulate, we can show different binary numbers. If the first bulb is off, second bulb is on, and the other 2 bulbs are off, and assigning 0 and 1, we can show 0, 1, 0, 0. This is a binary number. Right? You should understand this basic concept of turning on and off of electrical current. When we off any particular switch, end of that switch, right? So all these switches have electricity current in one particular place, but output this other side, which is connected to the light bulb, if that but the switch is on, current is going to the bulb. If the particular switch off, current is disconnected and is not present in this side of the switch, right? Actually, this is what happen inside processors. This is what happen inside computers. These are not there are not mechanical switches, but semiconductor level switches are there. Millions, billions of, trillions of switches. Actually, it happen turning on particular switches and store electricity the same way. This is how computer process. But all these switches are not manual. These are very small transistor level switches, semiconductor level switches, right? This is how computer process data inside the processors, inside memory, inside computer, all this part. This is what computer do. This is how handle data. You manipulate in the current in using trillions of switches. You will understand this in a later chapter. These switches are then developed into gates for logic. We need logic inside the computer, not just turning on and logic. Then in the next chapter we will learn about these logic gates. You see that actually there's small tiny switches. This is how computers operate, right? This is why we need a binary system to represent data inside computers, because what we can do is only if either turn on some current or turn off a current. So we can select only two different states in a computer, only two different states. That's why the binary number system is the best number system for computer. This is the only applicable number system in the computer using this theory, right? Now let's consider binary number system. We learn about binary number system. We know that in a binary number system, digit is called a bit, right? So two digit number is called 2-bit binary number. 3-digit binary number is called 3-bit binary number, and so on, right? But to measure billions, trillions of bits, right? It is difficult to say 3 billion bit number, right? 124 million bit by number. It's not practical, right? So we develop a system. It's called bit and binary number system for storage, right? Bits and byte system. The smallest unit is bit. Bit means one number, one particular number, right? That means presence or absence of electricity is called one bit. That's the smallest number that we can understand, right? 8-bit. In this unit, 8-bit is called 1 byte. That you know that in the measurement of length, if you get a metric system or ISO system, right? UK or United States system, that inches we use centimeters, right? And we know that 1 centimeter and 100 centimeters is 1 meter, 1000 meters is 1 kilometer, like that. In the computers also, in the bit and byte system, 8-bit is called 1 byte, right? 8-bit is called 1 byte. 124 byte is called 1 kilobyte. And after that, after 8-bit, the step is the batch, the multiplication is always in 1024 units, right? 8-bit is 1 byte, 1024 bytes equal 1 kilobyte, 1024 kilobyte equal 1 megabyte, 1024 megabyte equal 1 gigabyte, 1024 gigabyte equal 1 terabyte, 1024 terabyte equal 1 petabyte. So this is the bit and byte system. For what? For storage of data, right? So Storage mean how many numbers, how many binary numbers can store in this particular unit. 1 byte means the storage is we can store 8 bits of data, right? 1 kilobyte means we can storage 1024 bytes of data. To convert this one, we need to multiply 1024 by 8, then we can get how many bytes in 1 kilobyte. How many numbers, how many digital numbers we can, I mean the binary numbers we can store. So this is this bit and byte system, or this binary number system is for the storage, capacity. We use storage, we use capacity inside a computer. Also sometimes used as this to measure speed or processing speed, right? How many bytes, how many bits can process in a particular given time. For 1 second, how many bytes can process. So this unit is used to measure the storage as well as processing speed, and many other things we will learn about in the next chapters. But for now, this is the basically the storage unit for data. Bits and bytes is for the storage unit for data, right? The binary system is the base for processing of data in computers. Actually, that means understanding or manipulating presence and absence of electric current, right? Binary system is the unit of measurement for storage in computers. Bits and bytes, right? Bits and bytes we use to measure how many binary numbers we can store in a particular device, right? Therefore, computer process and store data using binary system. Process and store, right? Data using binary number system. This is why computers can only understand zeros and y. This is why we call that computer can we call computer can only understand zeros and ones. Zeros and ones in presence and absence of electric current, right? Now let's move to representation of integers. Representation of integers in computer. Any number can be either positive or negative, sign or unsigned. That we learn about that in the previous chapter, previous lesson. Any number can be either positive or negative, right? We can represent positive sign number with the use of plus symbol, plus sign. Negative number with the use of minus symbol, minus sign. That's how we learn positive and negative numbers in previous lectures. But the problem is computer don't understand this thing. Computer don't understand plus or minus. Computer understand only zeros and ones. So to tell computer, okay, this is 1001, this is a 1001 is a by number, but how to tell computer this is positive or negative number? We can put plus sign, because computer can't understand plus sign. So there's a problem. Now it comes to when we learn about these all positive numbers, negative numbers, representation of integers, fractional numbers, right, floating numbers. We learn all this one, but when it comes to computer, there's no way that we can present plus or minus values. So this is the first problem when we try to apply binary number system into computers. There is no way that computer can understand this. So we will discuss this issue in 3 methods, right? How we can implement, how we can solve this problem of presenting plus and negative number. This is the basic first problem that we come when we try to apply binary number into computers, right? We will discuss how to solve this problem in three different ways. First we will discuss about sign and magnitude representation. Then we will discuss about 1's complement representation and 2's complement representation as the third option, right? So let's discuss first representation of integers in computers, right? In computers, this is a basic theory, right? This is a basic theory. In computers, use fixed number of bits to represent integers, right? All computers use fixed numbers, 8-bit, 32-bit, or 8 byte, 32-byte, something like that. Fixed number, the length of the storage is always fixed in computer, because these are hardware. As I told you in the previous mentioned, these are hardware, means these are switches. So we cannot allocate unlimited number of switches, because in the hardware level these all are limited. So always, this is you need to understand this as the first theory in computer. Always when it comes to represent data in computer, this is fixed, right? It's like it's like let's see, let's consider some practical example. It's like we have water bottle, 1 liter water bottle, right? Then we need to serve this water to 5 people, right? What we do? We get 5 cups. We have 5 cups. But can we put any amount of water into the cup? We can't. Only fixed amount of water that we can pour into the cup. So that is limited. So that's why this is hardware. In computer also, when it comes to represent these numbers, the length of this representation of particular number is fixed, right? Always we need to understand how many numbers that we can represent in a particular time, right? So we will discuss about this in detail. You will understand further when we discussing this subject, right? For example, if we in the computer, now let's come to this example in the slide. For example, if we define 8 bits, right, we can represent 0 to 255 unsigned numbers. Unsigned means there's no sign, so we don't need to worry about sign. If there's no sign, we have no problem. With 8 bit, we can represent 0 to 256 unsigned numbers, because computers need precise instructions. Therefore, different programming languages has predefined set of integers and other types that we can use when developing programs, right? Because of this limitation, right, that we can limit only how many bits we can represent, we need to understand first. Then within that limitation, we need to represent data, right? Data means numbers, right? Because of this case, when we do programming, we need